What's up everyone? I'm Tim and this is my channel 40 Times Around, where we talk about everything related to motorcycles, camping, travel, and adventure. And it's time for me to retire this old helmet. So today I'm gonna do a 5-year review of my Arai XD4. I have really put this thing through its paces, all kinds of weather, all kinds of conditions, and I'm gonna talk about what I think about this helmet and my opinion of this helmet after about 5 years of use. Stick around. This is in no way a technical review of this helmet. I'm only going to talk about my opinion of the Arai XD4. Now, this thing's pretty beat up and it probably should have been retired quite a while ago. You can see here I have a band-aid that's covering up a scratch. There's dents and dings all over it. Pretty sure that's coffee, bug guts all over it. And I actually recently cleaned this and that was about as clean as I could get it. Yeah, I've had this helmet for about 5 years, so I feel like I've pretty well earned the right to give my opinion on this helmet. So that's what we're going to talk about today, and I wanted to take a little ride over on Sonoran Desert Parkway, I believe it's called. And the wildflowers out here are blooming like crazy, so I'm going to show you a little scenery from that. With the wildflowers also brings bees, and I actually just got a bee in my helmet not too long ago. And I got stung right in the back of the head. I'm pretty lucky because when I was a young kid, I would swell up like a balloon when I got stung by a bee. And then I didn't get stung for like 8 years. Got stung the first time like 2 years ago as an adult, and I didn't swell up, so I thought, I had always had this fear of bees, that I was allergic and, I could go into, my throat was gonna swell up or something. But it didn't happen when I got stung a few years ago on my hand. I was a little concerned because I got stung like right here, and it's pretty close to my neck, so if I had happened to swell up, that probably wouldn't have been pretty. Anyways, let's talk about this helmet. As we jump into sort of just a brief overview of what I thought about this helmet, I sort of regret buying this helmet, and the reason for that is it has ruined all other helmets for me. I have been trying over the last year and a half to find a different helmet for several reasons, and I'll mention those in a second. But I've been looking for a new helmet because it's just time for an update. This helmet's beat up, it's worn out, it's just gotta go. Every time I buy a new helmet, it just pales in comparison to the Arai. I've tried a couple of other less expensive helmets because, quite frankly, my financial situation has changed since I bought that helmet. I've been starting a business in the last few years and just really investing all my money right back into the business, so I haven't really had money to drop on a $600-700, almost $800 helmet, depending on what you get with graphics and stuff like that. So I kept trying to shift towards a less expensive, moderately priced helmet, and every time I did, it was tough. It wasn't as comfortable, it was loud, just things I didn't like about it compared to this helmet. It was actually an adjustment when I bought this helmet because this was a big jump up for me. Most of my helmets had been in the $200 range at most. Then I jumped into this Arai XD4. It actually took quite a bit of getting used to. It was very stiff. It took an exceptionally long time to break in, and I think that was just from the quality of the padding. Just didn't give and didn't soften quite as quick as some of the less expensive ones, which honestly makes perfect sense because 5 years later, the padding in this helmet is actually still good. It doesn't need to be replaced. That's not the reason I'm replacing it because of all the dents and scratches and just the lifespan of a motorcycle helmet. Some other things I noticed, and some things that have been hard to kind of step away from, is how quiet this helmet is. Lightweight and super aerodynamic. That is something I've noticed with some of the less expensive enduro style helmets. They're just not as aerodynamic as the Arai, and I'm talking highway speeds and beyond. Either headwind straight on, or even doing a shoulder check. I never really felt a pull on my neck with this helmet. Looking like this down the highway at 80-90 miles an hour. Aerodynamic from all directions. I did a video a while ago talking about why I prefer The Enduro style helmet, I was referring to this here, and mostly the sun glare and it's a great way to block the sun glare. And also, I like the added wind flow, especially off-road at slower speeds, but it definitely helps on the pavement too. I typically ride with the face shield up because I just like the airflow. I get claustrophobic. I've been trying to break that habit lately and getting stung by a bee today is a perfect example of why I should break that habit. But even with the face shield up, raised, with wind on my face, this is still an extremely quiet helmet. That is something I have not found with other brands I've tried, and I'm referring to lower end helmets or mid-range helmets. I'm not talking about, the top dogs like Arai, Shoei, things on that level. So what do we got here? It's more expensive than I want to spend on a helmet. That's probably one of its big downfalls, but obviously you get what you pay for. The reason I think it's too expensive for a helmet, for me, yes, my head is extremely important, and when I ride a motorcycle, I know that I'm taking a risk that I could crash at highway speeds, and I could hit my head on the pavement. It has happened to me. I have gone down at 70 miles an hour and smacked my head on the pavement wearing a helmet, luckily. So I understand the risk involved with this, and I certainly wouldn't want to cheap out on something that could cost me my life. However, when I did crash, I was wearing a DOT approved helmet. That was it. It wasn't ECE, it wasn't Snell, none of that. I'm not saying that you shouldn't go with those more restrictive certifications. I think you should go with the best helmet that you can afford. That's my opinion on that. And cheap out on a jacket and pants and boots. Don't cheap out on a helmet. However, $800 for a helmet is a big investment for me. As someone who I ride off-road, and there's the likelihood that I'm going to take a spill and hit my head on a rock, and that helmet is now toast. So I'm a little hesitant to go off-road with an $800 helmet, knowing that likely that helmet could be toast on day one. Furthermore, I'm kind of a sucker for new gear. I get really roped into these marketing schemes and these new features and transitional lenses and things like that. Different color schemes and just all of that, right? I can admit it. I like getting new gear every once in a while. So for me, it doesn't make sense to invest in a helmet that's going to last me 5 years, because after a year, I'm going to want to be looking at other helmets. I'm going to be, as much as I love this helmet, I've just been wanting a change of pace, something different, something with some different features. That's one thing about the XD4 is they haven't really changed much with it. So anyways, back on track. I think it's priced a little too high for my budget and my taste and my riding style. Again, it's not that it's not worth it, it's just an expensive helmet. You should absolutely, if you can afford one, try it out, but do be prepared that it's gonna take some getting used to go back to a less expensive helmet. Super quiet, super aerodynamic, lightweight, everything you look for in a helmet, this thing's got, and it's like, I don't blame them for not changing anything. I wish they would put a transitional lens on it. It seems like that might be the way that the industry is going. I really fell in love with that feature on my Bell Qualifier DLX, and I did notice that Climb's Cryos, their new version of it that's supposed to be coming out this year, has a transitional lens. So I'm really excited to see another brand besides Bell partnering up with Transitions and incorporating that. It's such a convenient feature. Like I said, I don't typically wear a face shield, but I have noticed that the dark smoked out face shield, the tinted version, keeps my helmet a lot cooler, and I don't necessarily need that airflow. So I've been using it a lot more, my helmet with a transition lens. It's easy for me to use a clear shield at night because I don't typically travel with clear goggles and I don't like getting bugs in my eyes. So the transition lens is pretty phenomenal. I wish there was more I could say that I don't like about this helmet, but really it's just the investment, and it lasts a little too long for me because I want something new every year. something different and something. I'm kind of like a gear junkie, you know. I just like new gear, and I like the latest and greatest. So you know, it's a flaw in me, but that makes me not want to invest so much money into a piece of gear that I know I'm gonna be wanting to replace in a year. Anyways, that's my opinion of the Arai XD4. Like I said, I've had this helmet for about 5 years, and just an excellent helmet. I will probably come back to Arai at some point as my financial situation changes, which probably likely will not be for quite a few years, but it is an awesome helmet. Can't say enough good things about it. But it is time to retire it, and so this has been my last ride with my Arai XD4 that I've had for 5 years now. So, you know, it's kind of funny because I almost felt like the helmet had a sense that I was getting rid of it and we were saying goodbye, and that was kind of why that bee got in there. Because I've actually not had that happen with this helmet, and he snuck right in, right by my eye, and just crawled right in the back. It's like, I didn't realize it was a bee at first too, till I got my hand in there to try to scoop it out, and I must have irritated him because that's when he stung me. Anyways, that is my 5-year review of the Arai XD4. I will leave some links in the description to a few of the models that I like in terms of graphics and things like that. If you want to check them out, they'll be down in the description box. Anyways, question of the day. What helmet are you guys using, and have you ever tried the Arai? I'd love to know if you guys feel the same way about it, or if you think I'm kind of off base on this. Let me know in the comments below. Love to hear from you guys. That is about it for today. I am gonna go enjoy some more of this scenery, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Ride safe. Oh, yeah. Don't forget to subscribe. Right, don't forget, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell if you haven't already. That way you don't miss anything whenever I post something new about motorcycles, camping, travel, and adventure. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.